I don't know where to start with this. So let me just start off by saying I don't want this to be a black pill or doomer, woe is me type video, but rather an expression of how I feel and have felt for nearly my entire life. This video is for me to have a discussion with myself, because I haven't felt like myself for a long time, and I feel like I'm losing touch with who I was. But basically, I've been severely depressed for essentially half my life, and I could feel it eating away at every aspect of me as a person. These last 9 months, I feel like I've been spiraling, just getting worse and worse. And it's getting to a point where I barely even feel in touch with my mind or body anymore. This might sound stupid as an example, but I took a cold shower today and felt nearly nothing. And I usually prefer scalding hot water to keep me comfortable, but I just couldn't even be bothered anymore. I don't give a fuck about any of the whining my body does because I just feel so disconnected from it at this point that I don't care. I don't feel like me anymore, and I haven't for a long time. I just feel like a ghost haunting my own body, and to be quite frank, I'm getting quite tired of piloting a flesh mech. I don't want this dying body I've inherited. I feel like I'm a spectator in my own life, watching the world pass me by. And even when I do go and do things, they ultimately end up blowing up in my face or utterly disappointing me and throwing me back into my depressive pit. I do things that used to make me feel good and productive, and my brain no longer even recognizes or rewards my efforts. I look back through my phone gallery over the years, and I feel horrible seeing how I was happier even just a couple of years ago, even if I was still depressed. Now I hate even being here. I also have incredibly underdeveloped life skills. I never got the chance to develop them due to COVID, being in a parentally abusive situation, and just generally being too stupid to realize that I needed to take action, because every action felt hopeless, and every action still feels hopeless. I was only 14 when the pandemic started, so I never got to have a normal high school experience. I was left with absolutely crippling contamination OCD that I still have to deal with to this very day. I feel like my entire teenagehood was stolen from me. My developmental trajectory was definitely impacted by COVID, but my mental health and weed put the fucking final nail in the coffin. I have no vision for my life, no passions, nothing that brings me happiness, true enjoyment, or fulfillment. Nothing I could feel proud of or good about. I used to be so proud of myself for every little thing I did. Now I have no idea what kind of life I even want to live, or what I want it to look like, because nothing I can think of seems even remotely appealing. Even my dreams as a kid don't seem all that great now. I have no direction, and I have no idea what to do. The more new things I try, the more hopeless I feel, because none of them feel appealing or fulfilling. I'm just not prepared for this stage of life, and I feel like I neglected myself far too much to even start. I don't even know where the start is. I've been isolated for years, and I feel like my personality is fading away right before my very eyes. My friend group has shrunk down to what is basically nothing. I have one person I regularly talk to. That's it. I feel like I'm not entertaining or fun to be around anymore. I can tell no one wants to be around me anymore, and I have no one to blame but myself. I can feel everything that made me, well, me, getting ground down in real time. The worst part is knowing no matter how hard I desperately try to grasp and hold on to myself, I can still feel that I'm slipping away. No matter how sad I was, I used to always be able to crack jokes and keep it pushing, but now I feel like I can't even do that anymore. I used to be witty, surrounded myself with people that loved me and kept me grounded, but they're all gone now, or have turned on me, and justifiably so. I'd turn on me too. And I used to be so sure that love could fix me, but I was very wrong, and it only broke me down further. I decided I'm just not gonna focus on that anymore because modern society is fucked, and I'm already having a hell of a time in the roller coaster that is my own life. So I'll just focus on me for the time being. If someone comes along, great. If not, whatever. I'm alright with being alone at this point, as I have been for years. These past 9 months have been so bad for me that it got to a point where I felt so bad. I tried making a video about my struggles like a month ago, just so anyone would listen. But then after rewatching it, after uploading, I felt like it was just me ranting and trailing off on random tangents, never really getting to the central point of what I'm trying to convey. So I've just added it to the pile of many videos that I've privated out of embarrassment. There's so many things I wanted and still want to be: a streamer, a singer, someone who just makes videos for people to enjoy and laugh at, but I feel like I'm just too mentally ill. The self-hating part of me is very vocal about letting me know that no one would ever like anything I make, find it entertaining, want to hear anything I have to say, or even like my voice. Lack of motivation due to my mental state caused me to never do anything or really push myself to try and create quality content. So I mostly just upload random clips on my channel or things I find funny, knowing none of them will ever garner any views. More just using my channel as my own personal archive. I've been on the internet basically my whole life. My childhood was almost entirely video games, and that's why I originally wanted to make content on. But the internet feels like it's dying, yet simultaneously being saturated with more content than ever. I just don't know where to start, and my thoughts feel too disorganized to just flip down my mic and talk. Whenever I try, it feels like there's an immense mental block that just completely scrambles my mind and makes me blank out on what I want to say and lose the ability to speak eloquently, so I just start rambling. I feel like my mind is too much of a mess to make content, and there's too much crazy shit I fear I might say, especially in a netscape that's only growing more sensitive and toxic. I wonder if trying to centralize my thoughts in a script would help, but I also fear it could cause me to come off as inauthentic, carefully picking and choosing what I want to say. Although, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Picking and pulling sections from notes I write to myself about how I'm feeling throughout the days and my thoughts. I'm 21 and haven't even really started living life, yet I already feel like giving up. It sucks to see the way the world is going and makes it hard to even want to start. Another thing is, over this past week, so since July ended, I quit weed. I haven't had any for the entire month of August, and yes, I know we're only a week in, but now I have to face all these thoughts that I've been numbing and pushing down for all these years, as well as the consequences of years of self-neglect. And while it's only been a week, it's been such a difficult struggle. I find myself wanting to pull away from life again and go back to being numb every day, but I know that wouldn't help me. I know it's not a healthy way to deal with things. And since my friend group has shrank down to almost nothing, I've been quitting with what is essentially no support system, and I've spent the days doing basically nothing. I feel like I've wasted my life and no longer want to be here. I'll make a more detailed video about the weed tomorrow because I definitely have a lot to say when it comes to that. But I've already burned into what is tomorrow just writing the script. It's 12:36 a.m. and I've been at this for over an hour, and yet I feel pathetic because I feel like I've written so little. I don't even know how long this will allow me to talk for, but I do feel like I maybe got my message across. If not to you, then at least to myself. And yet, it's 1:54 a.m. as I'm reading this now. It's likely that no one will understand this, and I'm just rambling to myself as usual. But if you've listened this far, thank you. I don't think I have anything else to say, other than I hope you're having a better day and life than me, even if there's a part of me that resents people who are doing better than me. I don't want to actually see anyone suffer, and I wouldn't wish my own situation on my worst enemy. Although, I'd say I'm my own greatest enemy. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing well. Bye now. Yeah, this is a little bit after the fact. It's like 4 a.m. But the gameplay I recorded lasted like a minute longer, and I figured I'm not gonna blue ball people on the results. So if you really wanted to see it, I'll just leave the rest of it there.